Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. My name's Nick Bowyer. I work for Microsoft New Zealand, and I'm a technology advisor. Sounds like a cool title, but I basically work with our partners here in New Zealand around the technology offering that Microsoft has, specifically around the cloud today. So again, you would have seen in the keynote this morning, great keynote, a lot of mention about the cloud. I guess it's a great topic to talk about at the moment. But obviously I've been talking about the cloud for some time now, for 18 months that our enterprise services have been in market in New Zealand. And having been in the IT industry a while, it sort of has a ring of familiarity to me. When I think back in the day when mainframe computers were around, they were the size of this room and generally very expensive. When we think about enterprise deployments of our software today, generally they take up computing capacity the size of a room. All of Microsoft data centers around the world have container-based computing modules, and these are similar size, ironically, to the mainframe computers that we had not so long ago. Now, these mainframe computers, obviously, no one could afford to buy one for their own business. So what they ended up doing is they ended up buying computing power, and it was called bureau computing. So we've sort of come full circle, everyone thinks that cloud's new. I think that it's been around for some time. But when we talk about the terms of Microsoft as a business, we talk about a transformation, not only for the industry, but definitely Microsoft itself. So, we're a great software company. We started off in the PC industry. I remember as a kid, as a teenager, installing Windows version 1. Believe it or not, I don't look that old, but I am. And followed the evolution of that software through to what we have today, Windows 7. But definitely Microsoft had a transformation at a couple of stages in its history. One was the birth of the internet. So again, Windows 95 came out, great product. Microsoft omitted including a browser in the operating system. So again, Windows 95 came out without a web browser. So sort of late to the game when it came to the internet, embracing that, but once we got on board, we definitely accelerated it. The same came with the server, the enterprise part of our business. Today it's a $10 billion business, but it's definitely allowed Microsoft to add more value to our customers and definitely deliver more products to many parts of industry. And I guess the web generation as well, brought about the browser. People were familiar with the browser now, and they were happy using a browser for day-to-day tasks. I feel that, there is a lot more value outside a browser. Obviously, Microsoft being a software company, we do a lot of cool stuff that doesn't involve the browser, and that's where cloud really leverages both the web and on-premise software. And when we talk about Microsoft's attitude towards the cloud, think about it as a software plus services strategy. We were banging on about that quite a lot, but I think it was lost on a lot of people. As far as the cloud business goes, Microsoft definitely are relevant in the cloud. Xbox, 23 million subscribers for Xbox Live. We've got Hotmail. We've got 370 million active users on our Hotmail platform. Now, Hotmail is obviously our consumer email platform, and there's some exciting stuff coming out this week that's going to be announced around our wave 4 of that product offering. Messenger, delivering 10 billion messages a day. That is phenomenal. And this is, again, computing capacity delivered by Microsoft in our data centers around the globe. A lot of people don't think of us as a data center business, but we definitely are. And I guess, today we're going to be mentioning a couple of the commercial cloud services that we've got on market. As I said, these services have been in market about 18 months here in New Zealand, but globally we've obviously got 9,000 businesses consuming this service globally. I think we're up to around 160 businesses here in New Zealand using it today, and we'll talk about those businesses shortly. But definitely 50% of the Fortune 500 companies are consuming Microsoft Enterprise Services. So this is a completely different offering to the likes of Hotmail and Messenger. These are running things like Office Communication Server, Exchange Server 2007, and soon to be released Dynamics CRM. So these are all services delivered out of Microsoft data centers over the internet to your business. Now I guess the customers that are buying into the strategy. So they're looking at the cost of running our software, because it's great software. I love Exchange. I used to be an Exchange engineer back in the day, and they're going, well, I could run it, or I could get the best experience running that software by using Microsoft Online Services. These are big names, right? So Starbucks, they have a mix of both. It's quite interesting. Starbucks actually have the Microsoft Online Services servicing their stores, their retail division, and their head office uses on-premise Exchange. So again, realising the different benefits of both solutions and electing to have one or the other for either one. Spotless Catering or Spotless Services, the overarching body, Australian New Zealand business, they've all gone to online services. I said to one of my colleagues the other day, I said, oh, it'd be great to, because I used to know a couple of the IT guys out there, to have a chat to the IT guys at Spotless Services here in New Zealand, and unfortunately they no longer had a job because it was able to be centralised and managed out of Australia because they were consuming cloud service. Big names up there. And definitely when you have a chat to the CEOs and the CIOs of these businesses, there are some remarkable quotes that they get, you know, driving efficiency, delivering a familiar user interface to all of the users, reducing training costs, and definitely seeing the financial benefits. GlaxoSmithKline on the screen up there, you know, they're a publicly listed company. When they say they've reduced cost of running their infrastructure by 30%, they mean it. You know why? Because they submit that information to the stock exchange and it impacts their share price in a positive way. So again, GlaxoSmithKline saw an increase in their share price due to reducing costs using cloud services. And this is great stuff, right? So when you're talking to businesses, when you're talking to your CFO and CIOs, these are the things to bring up. You know, they have a direct impact on the way that you're running your business. And I guess, you know, New Zealand, we talk about global statistics and whatnot, but definitely New Zealand has a great appetite for the cloud. I guess, you know, Microsoft MSN.co.nz, $3.6 million, 3.6 million visitors per year. That's a significant hit rate. And obviously we've got 1.25 million Hotmail users. We're only a 4 million person nation, so quite a few people have a Hotmail address. And obviously, you know, with regards to the enterprise software that I was talking about, you know, the Exchange Online, the Office Communications Online, etc., there are some great names using this software today. One of them is the All Blacks. So every time you see a rugby match on TV, know that the All Blacks are actually getting their email and communications and collaboration products from Microsoft Cloud Services. And there are actually over 2,500 active Exchange seats on online services today. But to talk about the rugby union a bit more, you know, there was a distinct, I guess, a review of how they were doing things. So they didn't say, we want to use Microsoft because we love Microsoft. They said, we can't afford to run our infrastructure the way we are. It's costing us way too much money. What are our choices? And they definitely went out to market and they reviewed Google. They reviewed outsourcing to partner hosted, as well as our Microsoft Online Services. And they definitely said that Microsoft was the right fit for the company. And they obviously wanted a system that was familiar. So again, not having to retrain all the users and use something that was basically not going to modify the way that the users interface to the product. So again, the Outlook interface and the Office suite being the key here. Jeremy Burrows, the IT manager, who's actually in the audience, is going to be talking later today and actually has some giveaways, which I don't. He's in a session later today, or is it Tuesday? I think it's tomorrow. So it's later tomorrow, talking about Microsoft Online and his specific experiences around using Microsoft Online Services, the migration, the ins and outs, the gotchas, you know, the things that you need to know about when you are moving your services to the cloud. And I guess Jeremy's thoughts do back up what Gartner and Forrester are saying. They're saying the cloud isn't the silver bullet, people aren't going to jump to it, but it is warranting a review of how you're running your systems today. It's not a case of turn up tomorrow and use a browser instead of on-premise software. It's saying take specific workloads, review them, see how you're running them, and move them to the cloud if it's appropriate. And I guess with Microsoft, it is about spanning different options. It's not just about saying Microsoft will run all of your infrastructure in the future. There is a choice. It's on-premise or cloud or partner-hosted. Again, there are great partners that we've got here in New Zealand that are running our software in a hosted environment today. But it definitely, it is a case of Microsoft delivering across all of those pieces down the bottom there. You know, delivering the unified communications experience, no matter whether you have it on-premise or cloud-based. Enterprise content management, you know, a SharePoint product being, again, delivered in the cloud as well as on-premise. We'll talk about a few of the collaboration pieces today. And again, you know, reiterating what they said in the keynote this morning, it is all about free screens in the cloud. It's about having that user interface, not really caring where the data is stored or where the service is delivered from, whether it's partner hosted, Microsoft hosted, or on-premise. You're able to aggregate that through whatever device you're using. So with that, I'm going to hand you over to Ben Green, who's our product manager of the Windows client here at Microsoft New Zealand. He's going to do a demo on Windows Live and the new Windows Live interface. So Live being our Hotmail product, our Messenger product, and our sort of collaboration suite for the consumer sector.
All right, okay, it's demo time. So, ready for a demo, are you? Guys enjoyed the demo this morning? Pretty good? Who liked it? 3 screens in a cloud. So this will be the second demo of the day you've seen. So I'm pretty much guaranteed this is going to be the second best demo that you've seen today at TechEd. So what I want to show you is actually Office Web Apps. So who's heard about Office Web Apps? Yeah, okay. So a lot of you, the first time you'll experience this, it could be through Facebook, or it could be through Office, or it could be through Windows Live. So what I want to show you is how it basically works. So what I've got here is a demo sort of, you know, presentation, AdventureWorks. And if you go, this is Office 2010, if you go into the file area, there's a few different options. And the one that I'm going to collect here is Save. And then you can click on this thing called Save to Web. Now, what I've actually done on this particular copy on this PC, I've logged in with my Live ID, which is Kumara Green. So now what I'm actually looking at there is my Windows Live SkyDrive document. So what I can do is I can just basically save it. So what it's going to do is it's going to go out there to the web and save that to the web. Now, the Hotmail, who knows how much storage there is free in the cloud with Live ID? Not you. Anyone over there? Not you. You, yes. That's right, 25 gigs. So it's a massive, let me just save that. Save, Jim, yeah, oh, it's already exists, okay. Cool, this is a 6 meg file, so I'm hoping that that's just going to work nicely for me. Okay, so what does that look like now? So if I'm going to go into my Live ID, there's this, something I was showing earlier, but so what I've got here, this is the Windows Live interface. I'm logged in here as Kumara Green. I've got my usual, I can just go to my home, obviously, and you'll see various links. That looks quite familiar, probably. But there's this new thing over here called Office. So if I click on Office, what it gives me is recent documents on SkyDrive. So this is quite cool. So here we go here. This is the edit a moment ago. So this is actually the document that I just saved up to the web. And so what I can now do is, what I want to do now, I want to basically show it to you. I think that's probably a cool thing to do. So I can open it in PowerPoint, or I can edit in browser. And so this is actually kind of cool because I'm now, this is the same version. Well, actually this. Okay, here we go. First proof that it's the second best demo of the day. What it might do is go to Plan B, which is, should I try that again? It might still be uploading in the background. That might be why. What do you reckon? Should I try that again? Who's for trying it again? Oh, I like your confidence. That's good. Let's see if that works. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. I have got a Plan B. Don't worry about that, kids. Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay, right. I should close it in the other one. Let's close that. That might help. Okay, so here we go. Edit in browser. It's getting there. Third time lucky. What do you think? Third time lucky? Who thinks? So I'm actually editing that in the browser, and as it loads up, so you can see I can see the ribbon, and now it's not the full ribbon, but it's certainly functional from a sort of editing point of view, and so I can look, and I can even actually go, if I wanted to, I can actually go into the slideshow. Let me just temporarily allow pop-ups on this one, so I can view that as a slideshow. So what I was trying to encourage Nick to do, because he's super confident that this all works even though it's a beta, is actually present the whole presentation in this, and he was quite game. Why didn't you do it, Nick?
No chance.
No, I wasn't keen enough. I'd be keen to do it. So this is something you can do yourselves. If you go into a presentation as a backup, you can basically email it to yourself and actually just print, so it goes full screen there. And you can actually do a full print. I've actually done this before, where you can actually just you can go in, it could be Safari, it could be Firefox, it doesn't have to be IE, and actually go and present your whole presentation in browser. So that worked. You guys like that? Pretty cool? Seen that before? Seen it all before, haven't you? Hard, tough crowd. So let's go back to recent documents. And so that basically is how that works. So I can edit in the browser, or what I can do, I can download it locally or anything like that. So that's just an example. If I edited that and then saved it, and then I went back and opened it again, this is this idea, you might have heard us talk about document fidelity. So if I could actually edit it in the cloud as well. So now the other thing I'm going to do with this one, I think it's here, share. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share, I'm just going to share it. I think maybe I can just click on here. There's another option that comes up which is called share. And where's my share? Share, slightly funny pixelated, does it look right? So what I'm doing now is I'm sharing this, and it's actually now anyone at all that goes there can actually see that. So I've now shared that. So one thing you can do with Windows Live is you can actually you can link it to various social networking sites that you might have. So in this case, I've got Coomera Green's Facebook site. So Coomera Green, that's my alter ego. You can see there's a nice photo of me. My interests are...
One friend.
It's got one friend, which is also me. It's a different ego. I like deep fries and sour cream, so that's what Coomera Green's all about. But if I go to my wall, what I should see is the same file. And so this is also a trick for young players as well, which is do be careful on your permissions when you start sharing files around the cloud. I think Microsoft have a very good policy in terms of disclosure, in terms of being very, very transparent. But you could inadvertently share some sensitive information if you're not careful about this. But now I'm in Facebook, and so look, I am logged in as Coomera Green, but it could be any friend, and I'm actually going to get pretty much through Facebook the same Office Web Apps experience. And so I could also edit this. So what I've done is, even though I've shown you two scenarios, one's through Facebook, one's through Windows Live, and the third, of course, was the desktop. So do you guys like that? Like the idea of that? Pretty cool? Something new? So it's not just limited to other Live ID accounts. It's also something that you can do with your Facebook friends. And again, I could just log into Facebook and present that if I wanted to. So that's just a quick example of how it works from creation through to cloud and out again. So I've kind of screwed up all my... let's just go back to... Oh, here we go. Okay. So the next sort of little demo, let me just kill some of these. The next little piece I want to show you is a different scenario, so here we go. Here's another lovely spreadsheet. And so what I'm going to do with this one is it's just saved to my desktop, this one. So it's my desktop demo account. So it's already there, and what I'm going to do is another way to share information. So what I'm going to do is just go into Hotmail, and I'm going to actually email this. I mean, this is the most common way that people actually share documents, isn't it? It's more likely to be just attaching it. So I'm going to send this to a friend of mine called Misty, and I'm going to go Awesome Excel, and I can't spell, that's okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that. So now if you notice, just look here, files with errors. Okay, let's try another one. This is going back to the 6 meg one, dangerous. So I have to talk a little bit for this one. So what you'll notice is that I've attached a file to this email, and it's obviously graphically there in front of me, but it's actually uploading not into this email, but into the cloud. And so when Misty receives this email, what she's getting is an email from me, but not with the actual full 6 megabyte file, but a pointer to that 6 megabyte file on the web. So what this enables is it enables people to start sending very large emails. Can anyone tell me what the largest email is you can send with Hotmail? Not you. Not you, Matt. Not the hand your hand up. What were you going to say? 20 meg? No, that's the old limit. That's what a lot of people think. Good answer though. Any other ideas? Any takers? So you can actually attach up to, what was that one? How much? 500 megs? No, ladies and gentlemen, be shocked and amazed when I tell you 10 gigabytes. I could send you one email the size of 10 gigabytes. I don't recommend that, obviously, but the way it works is it uploads all the files up to the web. So in reality, what that means is I could, in this one email here, I could just keep attaching photos, whatever I want to do, up to 250 meg individual files. And okay, it's not really that practical because you've actually got to upload that all from your home dial-up account, whatever you got. But anyway, so there we go. I'm going to send that. Now, it's a shame that they had an error in it because it's sort of, let me just see if I can...
That's because it's open, Bob.
Oh, do you think so? Oh, thanks. That's what you hear, Nick. Thanks a lot, mate.
Technology advisor.
So let me, yeah. I've got my technology advisor right here. It's actually cooler if it's Excel because, oh, it worked. Okay, super. Okay, so that's cool. So I'm gonna send that. So here we go, send. And now, actually, all the time in terms of uploading it was in the construction of the email. But just while I'm in Hotmail, I'll just show you a couple of other little things. Now, this is what a photo email looks like now. You can actually create a photo email, and this is what people would see. So this is just a group of photos I took in the Waikato. You can actually format them by creating a photo email by sending little thumbnails, and then I could also view that as well. So of course I could download it, but quite often you get emails and it's a 4 meg, high resolution image. You want to keep the fidelity of that image, but you still want to share it. And with Hotmail, if you think the limit is 20 megs, which it has been how am I going to send that 4 megabyte email around? What you want to do is share it, but also give the people the option of downloading if they want to. So what I can do with this, so this is just me in my inbox.
Shooting ducks.
Yes, that was yes, sorry about that. Those of you that are duck fans. Now, how do I get out of that? They're back in there. So what I can do is I can just view it online, or I could just download them. Now, the cool thing about this is that I download them. I'm going to be able to download the full high-resolution image. So again, with 25 gigs in the cloud, you can start to do things like sharing. I won't go into that, but you can do it without worrying about downsizing your images. Another little nice little feature in the Hotmail inbox is something called active previews as well. So someone sent me a video link from YouTube, and I can just actually play it right there and there. So those of you that like Min-Wee might like the beats in this. If the audio's up, cue sound go. So cool tune. Sorry to kill that, those of you that like it. But basically what it's done is it's detected that's a YouTube link and open up an active view. So quite a nice sort of scenario. So what I'm going to do is go to my Office recent documents, and because I've just opened it, I haven't saved it. Okay, well, how's that going to work? I'm going to try it. Ladies and gentlemen. What I'm going to do is try and edit this in the cloud with 2 accounts. So what I'm doing now is I'm editing this in the browser using the same original file. And what I've also done is if you right-click on IE, you'll notice you can start this thing called in-private browsing. So what I've done in this scenario is I actually open one of those because it's a way actually for me to show you 2 Live IDs accounts logged in at the same time. So if I go into my inbox, so you can see this is just another account. This is Misty's account, and you can see she's customized it and whatnot. And if I go in, so I've seen both of those, and what I can do is this is what it looks like in the receiver side, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that, and I'm going to edit it. Now, what I'm a little bit confused about at this point is whether she's going to be editing the same copy. So that's half the screen there. And let me show you the other half. And it currently says down the bottom corner there, it says one person is editing. Now, if I've done this right, it'll be this massive, amazing finale for you all. If it isn't, I'll quickly tag out and go to the next person. But I'm feeling confident. What's the confidence like so far? You think it's going to work? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that in browser. People aren't convinced. You're not believers, are you? So let's have a look. If I go, no, it's okay, sorry. Okay, that didn't work. It's because I opened up the other version. So anyway, so how it works is you basically can edit that, and what you'll see is basically real-time collaboration. So you'll see two people edited, one there and one there. So there you go. That's my scenario. That's my demo of Office Web Apps. If you'd like to know anything more about Windows Live Wave 4, come and see me on the stand. I'm on the Microsoft stand, and there's a lot more to the story. We've updated all of the desktop apps. They're called Windows Live Essentials, things like Photo Gallery, things like Live Mail, things like the blog editor. Also Movie Maker, you can edit HD movies now. These are all free apps, and it really lights up the Windows experience. Now, what I just showed you is the cloud scenario, and they're called Windows Live Web Services, and we've updated them all. And if you're wondering why your inbox doesn't look quite like my inbox, it's because they're rolling some of these services out over time. So it's not like everyone gets them on one day. They're staggered. So some of you may have that experience today, some of you may not. So hopefully that you enjoyed that demo. Now you've got an announcement for us as well.
Yeah, so this week, obviously Hotmail, or the Live Wave 4 does get released, and obviously all the web apps are part of it. There are announcements on the web that are leaking out at the moment, so Hotmail will introduce something soon, very soon, maybe this week, called ActiveSync. Now, you're probably already used to that with your Exchange server, so it allows you to have your mailbox replicated in multiple devices, whether you're using the Live Mail client on your PC, Outlook with the Live plugin, or a Windows Mobile or an iPhone or anything supporting ActiveSync. You can actually connect to your Hotmail account using that synchronization protocol. That will allow you to have, instead of pop and you download all the mails to one point, you're actually having that same view of that same mailbox across multiple devices. A great piece of technology. It does contacts, it does calendaring, and it does your email. So it's a fantastic thing that's coming this week.
Right, that's my cue to leave the stage, is that right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed that.
Cheers. So as you can see on the screen, there's been a couple of reviews already of the Wave 4 release of the Live product. It has got a bunch of rave reviews. I've been using it for some time now, for about 6 months, and so has Ben. So again, we've seen all the improvements trickle into our dog food experience over time. But I think one of the biggest things for Hotmail is ActiveSync. When I think of people wanting their email on their mobile phone nowadays, pretty much everyone does, right? But again, wanting both their corporate email and their own personal email on the same device. So speaking of mobile devices, sorry for the voice, I lost it last week, which is probably a good thing. I want to introduce you now to Mark Bishop. He's the actual product manager of Windows Phone 7, so the guy with all the toys, the guy that everyone's nice to, God knows why, but it's because he can give you a cool phone to play with, and he's going to demonstrate some of the Windows Phone 7 features.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Not a problem.
All right, so I'm going to pay homage to the demo gods, and I'm going to demonstrate on a real device. Okay. So this is going to work really, really well, or really, really suck. And it's going to be one of those two things. First thing I want to point out is that this is not a real piece of hardware. It's a demonstration prototype. So if you go, ooh, yuck, it looks ugly, you're all right. We are using production software. We're going to give it a go. One thing I want to talk to you about today is the fact that the demise of Windows Phone 7 as a business device has been grossly exaggerated. So I'm going to concentrate on a few key demonstrations today around the Office Hub, but I'll also give you a very quick insight into some of the way that we're organising the phone to give it a really strong end-user appeal, whether you're a business user or a consumer user. Are you all happy with that? I do have a 35-slide PowerPoint deck if you prefer that.
No.
Up to you. I'll go either way. So, yes, I know the camera quality sucks a little bit, but we'll just deal with it. So, the first thing I want to show you is my Exchange server has enforced my Exchange policies. I've heard some rumours out there that Windows Phone 7 doesn't support any kind of management. Anything that comes out of the Exchange box is going to work. My Exchange server for Microsoft enforced my password, so I'm up and running. A couple of things I want to show you right now. If you notice the second block down, I know it's blurry. I'll kind of talk you through. If it all goes bad, I'm going to do this demonstration through the power of interpretive dance. So we'll see how it goes. I want you to notice I've got two Exchange servers running. I've got my Microsoft Exchange server, but I also have my in-the-cloud Exchange server. So I have a partner-hosted service. There you are. It's all about the cloud there. And this one just for you. You owe me a beer. And that's actually run by a partner down in Hamilton. So my personal Exchange server is actually run there. So I have that. If I go further down, I've got Hotmail. For those that have made the terrible mistake of having a Gmail account, it also supports Gmail or Yahoo. So all those choices are there as well as all other third parties. But out of the box, you're going to have Google, you're going to have Yahoo, Hotmail, obviously, as well as the Exchange functionality. One of the things I want to talk about is kind of how the screen is nice and interactive. It's really nice to kind of use and play around. But how this thing is actually alive. Now, if you have a look at the tiles, you can see things are actually happening with the phone. Some things are being live updated. Now, obviously I've got a tile over here, that's me. That's got a live feed coming through from my social network. So from my Windows Live account, as well as my Facebook account, some updates are happening. That photograph and there's an update about how I'm kind of slightly peeing myself about doing my first demonstration, the kind of third demo for the day. So my Facebook is actually updated there. On the right is someone who's near and dear to me, which is my partner Philippa. Again, when she updates her photographs on Facebook, updates her status, all that comes through as a live tile for me. So it's interactive and it actually gives me the information I want right there. So I have that real glance and go. I'm not having to go anymore with, you've seen with other smartphones, that real hunt and pick. I want to know about Philippa and what she's doing on Facebook. So I'm going to go to Facebook. Okay, what's she doing on Windows Live? So I'm going to go to Windows Live. Okay, I've got an email from her from Outlook. How about I go there? Everything's in the one place. And if you see there's actually bringing information together in a people pane. So when I go into a contact, I'm seeing her Facebook contact information, I'm seeing her Windows Live information and her Outlook information. I might want to see what's happening with her. I am again praying to the demo gods and using public wireless and public data connectivity to see if anything comes through. But yes, I'm now able to get a feed from her about what's happening in her social world. So I'm staying connected to her by going to see what Philippa's up to. Again, that hunt and pick is a thing of the past. It's glance and go. So that's some of the cool consumery stuff and kind of end-usery stuff. You'll see my Xbox Live tile, that is my gamer tag. I can go in here safely. That is my avatar. That is my secondary Windows Live account.
It's a lot slimmer than you are, Mark.
Thank you, Nick.
I lost the beard.
Yeah. I'll get you. So I guess integrating Xbox Live. So for you gamers out there, if you saw the Gamescom's announcement, we have announced 50 Xbox Live games. I was hoping to, but the guys from Gamescom were a little bit jet lagged. We've got 20 demos available, which we're hoping to get down into New Zealand soon to be able to have a play out on these reference devices. So for launch, we are going to have 50 Xbox Live titles. Pretty exciting stuff, isn't it? For you guys who might be games developers using XNA as a language that you would already know from the Xbox language, and away you go. Pictures. Loving the Pictures Hub. I want to go back here. All. Why is this interesting? Because when I take some pictures with my camera, I've got them on the camera. I've also can download things, but also if you won't be able to see it too well, but as I scroll down, all my Windows Live photographs are all on there as well. All my pictures in one easy place to see. It is also pulling my Facebook photos. So if I go down and pick TechEd 2007 when I last spoke, I can take a picture as I want to do something with that, so I can then save it locally to my phone or leave it up there in the cloud. And that's what I'm going to bring it back to, is the fact that there are consumer cloud services as well as business cloud services. Now the hub I really want to talk about today is the Office Hub. This is one of the most exciting things. I was going to show you SharePoint, but I think you guys all know what SharePoint is, don't you? So I want to expand on what Ben was talking about with some of the integration with Windows Live. So how many of you have heard of OneNote? Part of Office 2010? How many of you use OneNote? Oh, that's not bad. Ben, put your hand up. Use OneNote. So why is this going to be interesting? Well, I'll open up my demo stuff, and you see a blank document. I can do some things there and make some notes, but maybe I want to actually do something that's going to capture something. So I might go into here. Smile. Or not. Taking a picture. accept. So that might, in my case, be a photograph of a whiteboard, or it might be taking notes, and I can take notes. I'm not going to do any typing and stuff because I'm a really, really bad typist. But I am now putting that into my OneNote document. I can then undo that. I can do some basic editing. But also what's quite important is now I can actually sync that document up into the cloud. So I do that. Now I'm going to go back to that in a second. What's that doing right now is that's taking it up into Windows Live, and it's putting it in that 25 gigabytes of space into those Office documents. It's enabling me to go to any PC at any time and pull those documents down and make editing. I'm going to go back and do that in a second, and we'll have a look at that. But also too, obviously we're going to have Excel and all those kind of really cool stuff that's going on, and some fidelity around Excel. I'm going to be able to do those editing, save them back into the cloud, and then get them on my PC later. I'm not having to transfer, there's no cables going on. And as a kind of a test, I'm going to log out of here in a minute. I'm going to go over to Nick's machine, which has never had me log into Windows Live ever before. Not yet. And I'm going to log in, and I'm going to see those changes which I made to that OneNote document. Is that pretty cool? Would that be useful? I think it'd be useful. But I paid to say that. What I'd also want to show you is some of the fidelity around the documents that you're seeing. This is my personal email account. So things like, and you'll have to excuse me about the fidelity of the camera, there's not a lot I can do about that. Windows Phone 7 series presentation. It's a whole 3 slides, and I'm not giving away anything I shouldn't. But as I go through the slide deck, you'll actually see the transitions are coming through in full fidelity. I can then edit that document, prepare it for email, and then on-send it, and email it straight from there. Now, how many times have we been travelling and suddenly need to get the last little edits of a presentation we're delivering and need it and want to be able to rehearse it perhaps on the plane? You don't have time to get your laptop out, start it up and go, but you do have time to download it on your phone, get it from the person who's been helping you build it, make some minor edits. I do PowerPoint presentations with Ben all the time, and trust me, there are a few minor edits. And I can get that to him, and he can do that on the fly. You then get there, send it on, and it can be delivered very, very easily. Now, I've only got 10 minutes, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay. So probably in the last couple of minutes now.
5 minutes ago.
Pardon?
That was 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Flip it over there.
It's because I'm so large that I lose track of time.
I'm gonna pay for that, aren't I?
Yeah, you're going to pay for it big time.
What is it now? How's it here? Not listing out.
Okay.
Mark's theme is actually pink as well. You'll see that in a second.
Mm-hmm. What I like about Nick is the fact that he breaks maths all the time, like black is slumming. Where do I sign in? Where'd it go on? Okay, now we're going to... Yeah. Will I?
No, just go live. So it should be over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got to log out of everything. Here we go. Sign in with a different Windows Live ID. You're always going to see what a terrible speller I am.
I'm a technology advisor, not a password advisor.
Ah, okay. Hotmail, right? .com. Don't say my password out loud. It's all right. Go on. You're going to work. You're going to work.
So this is the OneNote document you will.
So this is OneNote. So this is OneNote on the mobile phone and OneNote actually up here.
What are the 4 products that are web apps at the moment?
Hate you. Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and OneNote. Thank you very much. So there you are, in the cloud, as we were chatting. That document has now come down. Take a picture of it, and it's syncing live in the background. 25 gigs worth of space. That's also sound files, it's also pictures, it's also text, and you can do that with your Word and Excel and PowerPoint documents as well as OneNote.
Awesome, great stuff.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
move Mark along. Thanks for that, Mark. So the next guy we've got, I was actually going to do a demo because my colleagues like to talk a lot. The next demo we've got is rather exciting. It's saved the best for last. It's actually technology that was used in Lord of the Rings. It's a company called Green Button, a New Zealand innovator, using the power of Windows Azure to deliver productivity gains to businesses, leveraging cloud technology, right? So it's all Microsoft-based technology. It is endpoint agnostic, so again, if you're developing a program, an application that needs to leverage cloud computing power, you can start plugging in Green Button facility into that. So with that, I'd like to welcome Dave Fellows. He's a lead architect for Green Button.
Thank you. Thanks, Nick. Let me just see if I can get this up and running. So I want to quickly show you a scene from Lord of the Rings. Why? Because Nick asked me to. Actually, he just called me on Thursday last week and said, can you do a demo in this foundation session? And I'm anything but a seasoned presenter, so I was like, well, okay. And can you include some Lord of the Rings stuff? Sure, we can do that. So apologies, the resolution isn't great, but I didn't have time to fish out a better clip, so let's have a look. So I should really correct something that Nick said. Green Button technology wasn't used in making the Lord of the Rings. That's a bit of a stretch. But this is really the catalyst for how the Green Button came to be. So in these scenes, tens of thousands of digital horses and riders, and close to 100,000 digital orcs, and each one of them are rendered individually and placed on the battle scene. The processing requirement to render just a single frame is immense. So Scott Houston, our founder, he was a CTO at Weta at the time. And they realised with only 2 months to go on production of Return of the King that they simply didn't have the processing capacity to get the movie out in time. So they had to build a brand new data centre with 1,000 processors in the space of 2 weeks, all for a cost of $4 million. This is for 2 months' work. It's incredible. So Scott thought, there has to be a better way. And he left Weta and founded Intergrid and developed the Green Button product to enable seamless access to cloud computing resources at the click of a button. Let me show you. Let's just move this out of the way. So what we're looking at here is an application called Deep Exploration developed by Right Hemisphere. And this is used by some of the largest manufacturing and design companies in the world. So I created a simple animation here, 90 frames, just to sort of show you what we can do with the Green Button. But this is with my severely limited design skills and not really knowing what I'm doing, to be completely honest. But if you want to see what this application is really capable of, then you want to visit righthemisphere.com, and they've got some amazing images where you can't distinguish them from a photo. Rendered stuff. It's incredible. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up the rendering settings for our final animation. Okay, we're going to set a resolution that'll fit in our projector, and we'll crank up the rendering quality because that's how we roll, and we want the most photorealistic output when we render it. And so this HDR, High Dynamic Range Ray Tracer, the quality settings define for each pixel how many light sources and environment samples are calculated. So very CPU intensive stuff, as we will see. And I can't get to the OK button because let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to render a single frame on my computer just so we can get an appreciation for the problem we're facing. And so this is going to piece the image together, little square by little squares. We see, there you go, off it goes. And if we have a look at our CPU graph here, our 8 logical cores, again, are damn good hiding. Not about you, but there's something quite satisfying about seeing 8 little CPU graphs here maxed at 100%. Unless the culprit's something like Norton or Java.exe. Not so cool. In this case, it's cool. So
He can say that, I can't.
yeah, I can get away with it. So for the record, this single frame of this 90 frame animation is going to take around 2 minutes 20, and some of the later frames where the car's taking up more of the scene will take about 3 minutes. So you multiply that out for the 90 frame animation, and we're looking at about 3.5 hours. It's going to grab me a seat, guys. I'm not standing for that long. No, I wouldn't do that, yeah. So we'll cancel that because the novelty of watching this little squares pop up wears out eventually. Trust me. So we didn't have 3.5 hours, and I'm sure you're pleased about that. But fortunately, I've registered at the greenbutton.net, and I've been able to enter my login details into the Green Button plugin here in Deep Exploration. And so I can now submit this job to Windows Azure at the click of a button. And just to be clear here, this is a 100% live demo. There's no smoke and mirrors at all. So, again, mercy of the demo gods and all that, and useful things like an internet connection. So what we're doing here is we're packaging up the job, extracting all the things like the environment map, textures, our lighting sources, all these things, and we cache those on the server so we can minimize the upload time. There we go, it's going up all right. So we submit the job. The user can now carry on doing what they're doing without their computer being locked up. So this is pretty key. We're now going to use this application here that we use internally to monitor and manage our back end, or Azure's back end. And we can see our job has been submitted, and we have our 91 tasks representing each of the frames in the animation. And if we click on that, we can see all of our frames are being processed at the same time. That's pretty cool. And if we look across here on the right hand side, you can see the individual Azure instances that are doing the work. And you may also notice that we have 4 cores on each of these instances. So we have 360 cores cranking this thing out all at the same time. Pretty cool. We call it the G Core 360, not the i7. It's the next best. So we can see a few of these are starting to complete. If we flip back to Deep Exploration, in the plugin, the user can get an up-to-date progress of how their job is going. So you can see we're already up to 84% complete. Cool. And from in here, we can actually also, we can look inside Azure and get real-time, up-to-date log messages, trace messages from what's happening on that server. So this is very useful for being able to diagnose what's going on. So this is using the service bus to broadcast events out of Azure, which is pretty cool. So that just carry on and finish that frame. So there we go. That's complete. So all of our frames have finished processing, so we just need to merge them into the final animation. So that pulls down all the frame outputs and creates the movie out of it. So that shouldn't take too long at all. So far, so good.
None of these are screenshots, by the way.
Yeah, fingers are firmly crossed. Most of the things that could go wrong have worked, so it's got to be
It's
good
just
fun.
hinted fate.
Yeah, that was foolish. Cool, so the job is complete here. We've merged it. We can now go back to the plugin, and this should hopefully refresh, and bang, we're complete. And so we can download our results. Overwrite that. Yes, please. And again, the internet does its thing. Good to see. Oops, this has been up on the other screen, so let's have a quick look at it. There we go. We have our final 90 frame animation. So, it really demonstrates the power of what we can do with this. 3.5 hours to process it on a local machine at a fairly grunty laptop, compared to a couple of minutes in Windows Azure. And the cost of that is not a lot. Only talking a few dollars for the minutes that we used up. So it's extremely powerful. So let me just flick back to PowerPoint here. Yes, I'm going to change the cover slide. Cool. So the plugin that I showed you is a custom-built plugin for Deep Exploration. It's a very tightly integrated with the product. And we're developing an SDK at the moment that should be available sort of later in the year. And so this allows anyone to grab the green button and put into the application and get around the complexities of queuing, instance provisionment, deployment, management, billing, notification, all that stuff out of the box. So if anyone's interested to get involved with that program or do some beta testing, then come and find me at TechEd or send me an email. Thanks.
Great stuff. Thanks, Dave. Right, so as you can see, the cloud does definitely present you with infinite possibilities. It does definitely extend your reach and makes you more effective. When we talk about Microsoft in the cloud, definitely, as you can see from the slide on screen, it is a change in direction for the business. Our cloud strategy is permanent. It's not a flash in the pan. It will be here long term. And as you can see from the sheer number of the products that we are currently delivering today in the cloud, keep faith, these are going to grow over time. 90% of our developers today are developing for the cloud. So, the cloud is all about Microsoft. Azure is an important part of that, and that was a fantastic demo. Don't forget to tweet about this event. Obviously use the session ID and then tweet something that was cool about the event, something you liked or something noteworthy, and you could be in to win some prizes. But on a parting note, I'm mindful that time's close and we ran over time at the beginning. But when I talk about the cloud and the IT profession, I've been an IT professional for some 16 years now. I think it introduces a lot of opportunity. You start moving outside the box that you're in. You can grow your effectiveness outside being just an IT pro, and you can start doing some more creative, exciting stuff. So when I think of cloud computing and when someone mentions cloud computing to me, I get excited because I know that it has increased the opportunity available to IT professionals here in New Zealand. Definitely when, as Dave suggested, money is tight and you can't afford to go and deploy 1,000 servers because you need it for a certain project. So again, leveraging something like Azure definitely makes you more effective and breaks down the barriers that you otherwise have. But thanks for your time.